Good morning, friends. This is your paper number 13, Aquaculture Technique and Fish Nutrition. And today we are going to see another new topic, that is culture of marine water prawns. Dear friends, you have the syllabus. Please see the syllabus. In this topic, that is culture of marine water prawn, there are several bits are there that are study of general characteristics, food and feeding habit, selection of site, collection of brooders, mating and spawning, development, and number of near about 9 to 10 bits are there in this chapter. This culture of marine water prawns is how to study today by seeing the following bits, or you may call as the subtitles. Dear friends, these prawns that are found in the fresh waters as well as the marine waters, and in your syllabi today we are to see about the culture of marine water prawns. So no doubt this prawn is one of the important food item, and it consisting of number of important nutritive elements, compounds. Among that, good quality of high protein is there. Therefore it provides a good type of nutritious food, and hence it has much more importance into the culture. So this today we are to say about the culture of this marine water prawns. Today we are going to see the bit number first, that is study of general characteristics. So general morphological characters we are to see today. See here, this is a figure of Pinus indicus. There are several species of marine prawns, but generally the Pinus indicus and Pinus monodons, these are having good growth. Therefore peoples are going towards only such type of the culture of Pinus indicus as well as the Pinus monodon. Dear friends, you are seeing this figure. Just I am going to enlarge that figure. So this is a figure of Pinus indicus, that is marine water prawn. Dear friends, when we see the morphological characters, this Pinus indicus or marine water prawn is having body consisting of majorly two parts, that is known as cephalothorax and abdomen. Body is somewhat elongated, pear-shaped. Anterior part is known as the cephalothorax, and posterior part of the body is known as the abdomen. So abdomen and cephalothorax, these are the two major parts of this marine water prawn. Here when we see this prawn, you will find that it has number of appendages are looking there. Several type of appendages are there. So when we start from the anterior side to the posterior side, we can observe it. This cephalothorax is a major rounded part of the body which is covering the thorax region. The name is given cephalothorax because it is a fusion of certain head segments as well as the thorax, the cephalic region as well as the thoracic region. Therefore the name is given cephalothorax. So this thorax region is covered by a hard carapace like structure. Simply we can see that the carapace, and it is having a deposition of the lime salts. So such a carapace, a shield like structure is there, and that is known as simply cephalothorax. And this large rounded cephalothorax will continue into the segmented part that is known as the abdomen. So when we say about the cephalothorax, you have been seen that it has the several appendages also. This cephalothorax anteriorly producing into the median pointed spine-like structure that is known as the rostral spine. Into the median line of that cephalothorax, it produces a median outgrowth, spine-like outgrowth that is known as the rostrum. So the rostrum is present at the anterior extremity of the body, and the posterior extremity is containing the uropode. So anterior extremity that is having the rostrum, which is serrated from upper side as well as the lower side. So such type of rostrum is present into the such prawns. So it is one of the important character, presence of the rostrum. A rostral spine is there, and this spine is it is dorsal side as well as the ventral side, upper side as well as the ventral side of that rostrum is having a serration tooth-like structure. So that serration may be useful for the purpose of further classification also. When we see the cephalothorax, this cephalothorax is covering the major part of the trunk, that is thorax, and it hangs freely to the ventral side, and that is just hangs freely into the water. This cephalothorax to the internal side is having a cavity which is consisting the gills. The gills are the major respiratory organ. Gills are the major respiratory organ, and they are covered under the free hanging structure of the cephalothorax, that is also known as branchiostigals. So branchiostigals are there, and this branchiostegal cavity is consisting of the gills, and these are the chief major respiratory organ. When we see the other structure of that cephalothorax, it is having one rounded eye is there, rounded structure is there, rounded ball is there, and that is simply eye. It is kept on a stalk-like structure that is known as eye stalked. So of course that all these are having, arthropods are having the compound type of rounded compound type of the eye. So a stalked eye means one stalk is there, and on the tip of the stalk a rounded ball of the eye is there. That type of the eye is known as a stalked eye. A compound eye is there. So a pair of compound eye is there, and at the base of the compound eye it is having origin of certain type of the antennae. When we see the figure, you will find that anteriorly there is one antennule is there, and another one filamentous structure is there, a barbell-like filamentous structure is there, that is known as the antenna. So these are of course the tactile organs, antennules, antenna. These are sensory organs that are used for the purpose of searching the food material around the itself. So it will scan the nearby area by moving this antennule as well as the antenna also. So it will receive the information regarding the presence of food material nearby itself. So simply that antennule as well as the antennae are used for the purpose of searching of the food material. These are sensory in nature, these are tactile in nature. A smaller one is known as the antennule, and larger one elongated filamentous structure is there, that is known as the antenna. So that means there is a pair of antennule is there and pair of antenna is there, along with one type of scale that is known as a antennal scale. There are two types of the spines are there. At the base of that eye stalk, at the base of the eye stalk, below the eye stalk, there is a one type of spine, large spine is there, that large spine is known as antennal spine. In number of book it is given a scale, and in some it is treated as the spine. So the two small spines are there. One is large, another one is small. So the anterior large spine, that is known as the antennal spine, and which is present just below this eye stalk, and another one that is known as the small spine is there, that is known as the hepatic spine. So hepatic spine as well as the antennal spine, these are also present. That means what we have seen? We have seen antennule, antenna, hepatic spine as well as antennal spine, and the rostrum, 3 to 4 characters, as well as the compound stalked compound eye. So at this anterior part of this cephalothorax is having the rostrum, antenna, antennule, as well as the antennal spine and hepatic spines. So that much part, as well as we have also seen about the branchial structure of the gill, which is a main respiratory organ. So it is regarding about a structure of simply the cephalothorax. Dear friends, this cephalothorax is formed by the fusion of a cephalic as well as a thoracic appendages. It is a, see here, what is cephalothorax? The name indicate cephalic means head region and thoracic means trunk region. Therefore the combined term, that is cephalothorax. So this cephalothorax is formed by the fusion of the head appendages as well as the thoracic appendages that are near about the 13 number of the appendages. See here, total 19 numbers of appendages are there. In this prawn, appendages are of various type. A cephalic appendages, that means appendages present on the head region, thoracic appendages and abdominal appendages. So total 19 number of the appendages are there into this marine water prawn. Among that 19 numbers of these appendages, cephalothorax is formed by the fusion of the total 13 number of the appendages. So therefore the cephalothorax is a large structure. It is a fusion of the first 13 number of the appendages. That means when you see the distribution of 19 appendages, that is 5 are the cephalic, 5 are the cephalic appendages, and 8 are the thoracic appendages, and 6 are the abdominal appendages. That means the cephalic appendages 5 number, thoracic appendages 8 in number, and abdominal appendages 6 in number. So total 19 numbers of appendages are found into this marine water prawn. The appendages which are arising from the cephalic region, that is simply known as the cephalic. The appendages which are arising from the thoracic region, it is known as the thoracic appendages, and appendages which are arising from the abdominal region, that are known as abdominal appendages. That means such different type of appendages are present into this marine water prawn. When we see about the sequence of these appendages, total 9, keep in mind that total 19 pairs of, these are the paired structure, these are not single one, these are paired structure, the cephalic, the thoracic, abdominal, these appendages are the paired structure. So when we see about the sequence of these appendages, the first of all we have see that it is having the pair of the antennule and pair of the antenna. Pair of antennule is there, pair of antenna is there, which is followed by the next appendage that is known as the maxilla. So the first maxilla and second maxilla is there. This maxilla as well as the and third one is of the mandible. So the first, second, third maxilla is there, mandible is there, and these mandibles are get followed by the another type of appendage that is known as the thoracic appendages, and further these are followed by the next six type of appendages that is known as the abdominal appendages. So these appendages are having different functions. So the mandible and maxilla, that appendages are used for the purpose of to cutting the food and to draw the food into the mouth, push the food towards the mouth. So that means for the purpose of the feeding, this mandible and maxillae are used. No doubt the barbell-like structure that is known as the antenna as well as the antennule, these are also having important role in the feeding because that are searching the food material. So with the help of these antenna and antennule, these organisms search the food material, and with the help of the mandible and maxillae appendages, that food is get collected and cut into the small pieces and that are pushed towards the mouth. So this is the function of the maxillae as well as the mandibular type of the appendages, which are followed by the near about again 5 number of the walking legs, that is also known as periopod. Periopods are having the 5 pairs of 5 large appendages are there, that is simply known as periopod, and these periopods are used for the purpose of walking. So some appendages used for the feeding purpose, some appendages legs are used for the purpose walking purpose, and the rest that is of the abdominal that are known as the pleopods, that are also known as the swimming legs. So the 5 number of appendages which are arising from the cephalic region, that is known as the periopod, are called as the walking legs, and the appendages which are coming from arising from the abdominal region, that are known as the pleopod, which are used for the purpose of swimming. Forward swimming is there. So for the purpose of swimming, that forward movement is carried by the movement of the pleopods, and here it also useful, that is uropod is also useful for to direction of the to change the direction of the, you may call as the prawn, that means for swimming purpose. So the uropod, that is also known as the tail fin, that uropods as well as the pleopods that are used for the purpose of swimming. So I told that 19 appendages are there, and that 19 appendages are performing different functions. Keep in mind that some are sensory, that is antenna and antennule. Why it is known as antennule? Because it is smaller, and if it is larger, that is known as antenna. So antenna, antennule, sensory purpose, maxilla, mandible for the feeding purpose, and these certain appendages, thoracic appendages, that are for the walking purpose, and that are known as the periopod, and pleopod, that is known as the swimming legs, and performing a function of movement, locomotion, and swimming with the water. Dear friends, so this structure, the posteriormost part, that is known as the abdomen. Abdomen is segmented. See here, cephalothorax is unsegmented. It is a fusion of 13 pairs of appendages. Is it so? And abdomen is segmented. It having near about 6 numbers of the segment. That means abdominal is segmented and consisting of 6 numbers of the segment. Each abdomen is known as the sclerite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abdomens are there, abdomen segments are there, that is known as the sclerite. Here each sclerite is having different parts. See here, I told that the entire body is covering with the carapace like structure. Even though carapace is there, cephalothorax and abdomen is also covering. Abdomen is also covered with the same structure, forming a ring like structure, that is known as the sclerite. So each segment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 segments are there in the abdomen. Each segment is known as a sclerite. So which is a ring like structure. It is thick and ring like structure. A dorsal part of the sclerite, it is called as a tergum. See here, when you see the dorsal part of the abdomen which is having the segment, that is known as a tergum, and ventral part, that is known as a sternum. So this sternum as well as the tergum, see here, dorsal part of that abdomen is known as the sternum. Sorry, it is known as the it is known as the tergum, and ventral part, that is known as the sternum. So the tergum and sternum is there, and each is covering the abdominal segment. When this sternum, which hangs freely into the abdominal region, and it helps for joining of these appendages. So the ventral excessive part of that sternum is known as the pleuron, that is known as the pleuron. So hanging flap like structure of that sternum, that is known as a pleuron, and that pleuron is attaching to the appendages, or appendages is attached to the pleuron with the help of a little bit of structure, that is known as epineuron. So the epineuron, the pleuron, the sternum, tergum, these are part and parcel of the you may call as the abdominal segment. This pleuron is using to help to join the pleopod, that is known as a swimming type of the legs. Here, dear friends, this when you see the color of the body, when you see the color of the body, it is somewhat grayish blue in color. The male and female can also have a separate type of the identification character. So today we are seeing only the external characters, external morphological characters. The remaining part we shall see very soon into the next video. Thank you very much.